For the past 2 years, every Minnesotan has been impacted by this pandemic. Every family, every community, and businesses has been hit hard by this unpredictable and deadly pandemic that has taken thousands of lives of Minnesotans and Americans in our country. It's stolen millions of jobs, and it's stretched our frontline workers and our businesses and our schools, as well as our health and long-term care and our child care systems to a brink. Today, after far too long, which has been mentioned a few times on this chamber today, after far too long, many broken promises and missed deadlines, we are addressing some of the economic fallout that has devastated people and businesses across our state. And as a business owner myself, I have seen it firsthand. And as a lawmaker, I've been frustrated, very frustrated at how long it has taken. And it's not perfect. It will never be. It's a compromise. And I'm glad we all fought hard for what we believed should be included here and was acceptable to get it to the finish line. We've heard all over Minnesota struggling to keep up financially, to keep their children safe in school, and deal with the ever-changing work and business environment, because it still is ever-changing. And although we've come through many difficulties and we still have quite a lot of work to do to get our state back on its feet, I'm proud that we got to this point. Through it all, our frontline workers have been heroes. Under trying circumstances, they put their own health and safety and that of their families, and sometimes even their own lives. They put their own lives on the line to keep our state running. They provided health care when we've needed it. They kept older Minnesotans safe in long-term care facilities. They've kept a grocery stocked and retail stores open and kept the public transportation running. And importantly, they provided the safe child care that has allowed the families to get back to work and the businesses to stay open. And in short, without their sacrifice and that of the frontline workers, the health and economic crisis caused by this pandemic could have been much worse across our state, and they deserve our thank you. And today, we're able to thank them. Members, you all know that we've made a commitment to thank them last year. We passed that as a compromise. We weren't able to provide those checks until now, much, much later. And since then, DFLers have traveled around the state, led by Senator Murphy and many of our colleagues, to hear the stories from these workers in Rochester, in St. Cloud, in Duluth, in Moorhead, and across the metro area. We've heard them when they came to the Capitol last month to tell us wrenching stories of what they and their families have been through. Many have lost their jobs, their health, and sometimes a loved one. That's why twice on this Senate floor, DFLers have pushed the Republican majority to pass the worker bonuses. That's why we've been so frustrated when we've been blocked every single time. But today we have better news. Today we are putting the money into the pockets that they deserve and they have earned. And although DFLers wanted to do more, we are sending them twice the amount of money that we had agreed to last year, and we are expanding the number of workers. So we can't say we haven't done enough. We can always do more, but we fought for those increases when our Senate Republican majorities wanted to limit them. So I want to say thank you to Senator Murphy. Thank you for your steadfast efforts for over a year on behalf of our frontline workers, and to all the members on our side who have worked so hard alongside of you in this long process. Thank you, Senator Kent and Senator Putnam, for your work from last night until today to get this wrapped up, to bring important issues of this bill. And as Minnesotans talk about, this is two two pieces, frontline workers and unemployment insurance, but we also talk about the third piece of the slow erosion of the voice of some of the members of our legislature by the change made to the LCRC process. On the unemployment insurance trust fund piece, I and many of our DFL members, including the governor and members of the House, have supported this bipartisan effort to replenish it. We understand the need for it. During the darkest days of the pandemic, this unemployment insurance benefit helped many families stay afloat and avoid economic disaster. But as a business owner myself, I also know that providing a safety net is expensive, and today we replenish the unemployment insurance trust fund. We also take steps to prevent tax increases on Minnesota businesses who have been through a lot these past 2 years. So members, this hard-fought agreement isn't perfect, but it signals that our state is willing to help our citizens in the time of economic and health crisis when they needed it the most. And it also shows there's much compromise to be had in the next few weeks of session. So members, because this bill does so much for Minnesotans, I urge a yes vote, and I hope to send a message to workers and businesses that we understand the sacrifices, and then when we come together, we can get things done. But that needs to include all voices. Thank you, Mr. President.